Welcome to By the Numbers. I'm FM Tahiti and I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for subscribing, liking, leaving comments, anything you'd be doing like that, or follow me on Twitter if you'd be doing that too. It is much appreciated. Do get in touch and leave a comment if there's anything you'd like to see more of, or anything I've not covered in enough detail, something like that. Just let me know what you're liking, what you want to see more of. It helps me decide what to go over. There's no promises or guarantees I will do, but it's nice to know. In this episode, we're going to play against Hitiraa, and I don't know if we'll fit in another match. Where's our schedule? There we go. Got an upgrader afterwards. Maybe we'll play an upgrader depending on how this one goes. We did play against Loughall and Moyola Park in between the two matches. The last match you saw would have been Donegal Celtic, which we drew. We beat Moyola Park comfortably. Performance-wise, it was the 84th minute. We had to wait until we got TJ Hughes' winner, but it was a deserved win. And then we lost to Loughall in the Cup, and to be honest, it was unfortunate because they got a 90th minute penalty because Clark got sent off for his second yellow card, a push in the box. I got a news item saying, why are you playing Clark? He's not good enough. And I said, it's okay, he's going to play his way into form, and he just got sent off. He's only on because of other players being cup tied, which you'll see in a second when I move the team back. But that was a bit unfortunate, but I'm not too bothered because we've done well enough in there. If we look at the club vision, and that was in the Irish Cup, we just wanted to be competitive, and we got quite far, so past. They should really be delighted with us. They're not happy about this one, but everything else is going pretty well. Got a B currently we're working to. Before we play the match though, there's one thing I wanted to point out. So I was talking about Darren Gibbons, about his record, so 18 conceded and 17 league games so far, and then last season he was 24 conceded in 22. And I mentioned this idea of using expected goals against, so you get all the shots that are on target. I'll show you, get the shots on target and you look at them and see what let's use this one. This is a good one. Shots on target, and you can work out how good those shots were, how many goals you would have expected on average to have actually shipped and conceded. You can do the same for scoring them. I've written an article about that. So for example, in this one, we've got Dollingstown shots against us. They scored 2 against us. Get rid of the off-target ones. You can see there's 2 shots that were a goal and 1 that was saved. And you can see where they are in the pitch. So they've got 2 really well-placed ones. So these have got high XGs. I think the XG for those is something like, so we're in zone 2. Each one's worth 0.14 of a goal, 14% chance of it going in. And that other shot further out, shot 10, is in zone sort of 3 or 5. Probably 5 for that one, which is an XG of 0.11, so an 11% chance. So from these ones we see 2 14%, so that's 28% chance, 39% chance. So actually their XG for this match, based on shots on target, obviously got these off-target ones as well you would add up, include in that, but it's less than half a goal. It's about 0.39. You'd expect less than half a goal for a match like this. Obviously, you don't get half a goal. But the fact they got 2, even if you took into account these off-target ones, which you normally would do, still wouldn't be, with those ones because he's quite far out, you wouldn't bring them up to more than a goal anyway. So they've overperformed in this match. But what we can do is we can look at the ones that are on target, work out how many shots how many goals we'd expect to concede from shots of this quality that are on target, and how many we actually conceded, and work out if our goalkeepers actually any good. So that's what I did for the last 10 league games, which took us all the way back to the Ballyclare match in October. And from that Ballyclare match to this Moyola Park match, there are 10 goals that we conceded in those 10 games. So on average, 1 goal a game we're conceding. I don't know whether you think Gibbo's actually any good. Look at him, I don't know what you think of him. I mean, his attributes are rubbish. The actual XG for on-target shots was 4.49. We were only, even if you were very generous and rounded up from there, there's still 5 goals. We conceded twice as many goals from these on-target ones anyway than you would expect in this kind of situation. So his efficiency score is you take the amount of goals he conceded, take away the actual XG, and it's a 5.51. So he conceded 5.5 more goals than you'd expect on average, which means as a keeper, he's performing below average. He's conceding more goals than you'd reasonably expect an average player to do so in that situation. So he's a below average keeper in his performance in the last 10 games, which means we do kind of need to look at a better keeper because that's a lot of goals. That's twice as many. When we look on our bench, though, we have this greyed out player, Liam Lindsay. And if you look in the reserves, we've got no one there. If you look in the under 18s, we've got no one there because I have a good backup, which I think is a guy called Jared O'Kane, got poached from us. But in the youth intake, there is meant to be a good keeper coming along. Whereas in the dev centre, at least one of our goalkeepers looks a great prospect. So we'll try and fix that eventually. But the long and short of it is, applying those statistics, we realise that actually our goalkeeper's below average. It's not that we're getting pasted by the other teams, that he's had a lot of shots to deal with, so he's conceded a lot. It's the fact he's just not as good as he needs to be. And that's the power of the stats in this situation that's helped us out with that. So I know now that if I'm critical of Gibbo, he deserves it. It's his own fault. Let's get a few more players on the bench. Warwick suspended, Lynch is suspended. Less than ideal. There we go. That's the best we can do with that one. Still got Allen playing in midfield there. So yeah, Gibbons, not very good. We can't rely on him. He's not good in between the sticks. We need to get rid of him. So I don't know whether that's helpful for you, but for me that's really helpful because it is really hard to work out whether it's your defence's fault, whether they're unlucky, whether you're conceding more than you'd actually expect. I find goalkeepers really difficult to judge. I know what attributes to look for, but when you're playing in the lower leagues, it's difficult to find those attributes, if we're being honest. And also, you remember their mistakes more. It's much easier to be critical of a goalkeeper because if they make a blunder, there's a goal. You see that. You don't notice all the kind of average stuff that, oh, Robinson's through. Oh, what a run. Kept his balance. This is agility, keeping him. Oh, is it agility or balance? I guess balance would make more sense. He kept on his feet. So long ball down the flank. Little nudge there. Carries on. No drama. Around the keeper. There we go. We should beat an R. We really should. But yeah, so I find it useful because you also remember the really good spectacular saves as well when they were rolling around all over the place. So the impression I was getting was like Gibbons was a reasonable keeper. I'll go and get it in, one of you. Oh, Dempster almost. Bit of a scramble there. Okay, corner, that'll do us. Go on, Robinson, get it back in. Mitchell. Interesting ball. Never mind. So yeah, Gibbons is on borrowed time because of that now. Or as borrowed as he will be for this. Just something I've always struggled with. I find it very difficult to judge them because they're so reliant on the players in front of them. Just like a striker's partly reliant on the kind of service he gets, a keeper's very much reliant on the protection that they get from defence. Ooh, almost. Now, I think the next thing for me to do with expected goals is to just do the full expected goals against. Because I was just looking at shots on target, because there's no point trying to work out goalkeepers' efficiency for shots that are off target or shots that are blocked, because they've never had to do anything about them. Go on, Alan. There is one thing I also forgot to check, and that is how many penalties were scored against. And I'll check that at the end. But unless it's 5 penalties, or 6 penalties, I should say, then he's still the verdict's bad for Gibbons. I want to look at the whole defence. I'll look at all shots because then I can get an idea of getting close, we're scrambling in front of the goal. If I use all of the shots and get the full picture, so those that are blocks, those that are off target, I can get an idea of how many chances are being allowed by my defence, or by my team primarily, but defence mainly. And if I can work that out, then I can see, our defence keeping the amount of shots or the amount of chances down, or the goalkeeper's messing it up, or is the goalkeeper messing it up and also the defence isn't doing great either. Something I will look at next, but it was nice quickly. It took me literally 5 minutes to work out the goalkeeper thing. It was not a big issue. If you want to try it yourself, go to dictatethegame.com and look at my article on expected goals. Oh, that is terrible. Not the article, but this. How did that go in? He didn't mean to do it, obviously. Oh, seriously. So, well done, Gibbons. He should have saved that. That was Gibbons all over. The defender should have done alright with it as well, but we just conceded a goal we didn't need to concede. And arguably, that's Gibbons' fault. That's now to do with the rest of the team. I'll make some subs. I got carried away chatting about it, and I've not done as much as I want. 2 new strikers, Mallet and McGuckin up front. Let's get Mulholland on for Brown, just to give him a bit of rest for the last 10 minutes. Well, less than 10 minutes now. Donnelly goes long. Robinson back in. Mullet must be offside. Mallet, not Mullet. It's not going to count. Never mind. We don't need to see that again. He was obviously offside. Go on, Mallet. Oh. Come on. We have thrown points away. Particularly Gibbons has thrown that point away. But we should have done better. We've probably got really high XG from this one. We've probably got really low XG. Yeah, we should have been winning that one. No doubt about that. So let's have a quick look. I said I was going to look to see if there are any penalties conceded. Would it tell me if it's a penalty? This one? Yeah, it would do. It did for the other ones. Nope. Last minute goals going on there. No, so no penalties, it stands. So if it wasn't for the Gibbos conceding more than they should have done, and let's be honest, that last match probably added a goal on there as well. So let's say, the 6. We should be 6 goals better off than we actually are. That conceivably would bring our goal difference up to 11, which would give us the best goal difference. That's quite a sizable issue. And if we look at the schedule as well, when we have conceded and lost, we've only lost normally by about 1 goal or 2. It's getting rid of 6 goals from this and just leaving 4 against us. Potentially would have scraped us 4 to 7 more points, depending where they were placed, depending which match. 4 to 7 points would probably. Well, 4 would have us in here, and 7 would still have us in second place, but challenging for the title. So it makes a big difference having a crappy goalkeeper in between the sticks. Because I've ranted, I'm probably not going to play the next match on camera against Not Breda, but I will come back probably for the last 2 games of the season to see how we do, to see if there's anything left to play for. It will kind of depend on what happens with Not Breda and Ballyclare. To look forward to. As soon as we're throwing away points left, right, and centre, we'll see. Or I might come back early if we've got a youth intake, but it should be April that it happens. Thanks as always for watching.